Under the current circumstances, could you see yourself voting for him?
Quite possibly. I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that anymore. I think we're beyond that.
I told y'all at some point Stephen A. Smith is going to come around. I've been demanding that he wake up. When you hear the man gloat about conservative values and ideals and he's still voting Democrat, there's two reasons why. Stephen A. Smith was on Mark Levin's show. I never really watched Mark Levin's show. I don't even know where it's presented at. I heard him on the radio a couple times. I generally speaking, I think Mark Levin is a patriot. I like Mark Levin. His voice can get annoying sometimes, but by and large, I think he's a plus for the conservative movement. But Stephen A. Smith went on Mark Levin's show. I might have Stephen A. Smith come on my show. That'll be pretty interesting, to be quite honest. But roll the clip so we can hear what the conversation went like.
Welcome back, America. Stephen A. Smith. So could you see yourself seeing what you see now? And obviously Donald Trump can't run for president again, but if he could, under the current circumstances, could you see yourself voting for him?
Quite possibly. I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that anymore. I think we're beyond that. He would have to prove a lot, Mark. And I'm not talking about policy now. For a second, allow me to say this. What concerned me about Donald Trump, and the reason I voted against him and voted for Kamala Harris, was because I felt that he would be divisive, that he would create chaos because he demands such a level of loyalty and fealty to him. And that would take priority over governing our nation. That was my concern. And so I'm looking for both sides to work across the aisle from one another. Having said that, when you see some of the things that he said, if he follows through on some of the things that he has said, it's not just about eradicating inflation, improving the economy, obviously controlling our borders. These are all things that I care about, make no mistake about that, and I certainly would support him in that regard. But it can't be just about fealty to him and loyalty to him. It has to be about getting the job done on behalf of what's in the best interest of the American people, as opposed to yourself, and not engaging in the kind of juvenile tendencies, tweeting all the time and going after people who are really much irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. You do things like that and you show that you're the adult in the room, yeah. I don't think anybody could dismiss Donald Trump at this particular moment in time, not just because of him, but because of what we've seen the Democrats do. We're not falling for it any longer. The American people aren't falling for it any longer. I voted Democrat, and I got to tell you something right now. I don't like the fact that I did. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're about law. We're about a law. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. But then you go out and you pardon your son and you try to blame everybody else for it. I don't want to hear about defund the police. I don't want to hear about, you know what, there should be open borders. I don't want to hear this stuff. And I don't think most of the American people want to hear that. We're thinking about the state of affairs that's in. We're not about America only, but being about America and priority.
This video is brought to you by All Family Pharmacy. All Family Pharmacy. I don't know about you guys, but I noticed that there's some crazy going around. Everybody getting sick. Literally, my oldest son got sick. My youngest son got sick. Then my mama came out and got sick. And you don't want to be left out to dry. So let's talk about being healthy during winter season. And this is one reason why I want you guys to check out All Family Pharmacy. And since 2019, they made it easy to stay prepared with essentials like ivermectin, starting at about $3 per capsule. Tamiflu as well. And my mama needed Tamiflu desperately because I think that's what happened to her. She got the flu. But it is absolutely incredibly convenient and not going to a doctor's office and doing all that. They have hydroxychloroquine, antibiotics, and a lot more. So if you need medicine for cancer support, they got you covered. They got ivermectin and also mebendazole. And all of those things can be checked out at allfamilypharma.com/Tatum. That's allfamilypharma.com/Tatum. And here's the best part of it. I said it before. You don't need a doctor. They handle the prescriptions for you. With over 200 medications in stock and fast shipping, they'll make it simple to stock up and help you get ready for the winter season. So right now, all you got to do is put in my code Tatum10 and you'll get 10% off your order. Do not wait till the wave happen to you and your family. Go to allfamilypharma.com/Tatum and check it out today. You'll feel so much better knowing that you're prepared. That's allfamilypharma.com/Tatum. And don't forget to use the code Tatum10 to get 10% off. I'm going to let him finish, but I just want to, can I just say this? Can I just pat myself on the back just a little bit? I told y'all at some point Stephen A. Smith is going to come around. I've been demanding that he wake up. When you hear the man gloat about conservative values and ideals and he's still voting Democrat, there's two reasons why. One is political pressure, and two is the backlash from the black community, meaning that because you've been a Democrat so long, all the Democrat politicians are probably ready to pay him a lot of money and advocate and call people that know people to try to convince him not to turn on the Democrat Party. And the other one is the black community, because obviously Stephen A. Smith he has a platform where a lot of people that listen to him are black people that are in the sports, that have supported him for probably 30 years now. And he don't want to make them mad and lose his whole platform, because at the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith is a capitalist. He understands how to make money. He understands how much money needs to be made. He understands what his abilities and talents are, and he ain't finna throw that away for a political idea. However, it has gotten so bad that the Democrat, it's impossible to defend them without just ruining your reputation in its totality. So now we see Stephen A. Smith kind of waking up. I'm literally going to request to have him on my show, because I've been saying for years that Stephen A. Smith needs to wake up and become a Republican. I think that he's on his way. Now, he got to slow roll it. He can't just come out and say, right now, I'm a Republican, I'm changing parties. He got to slow roll it, but I think eventually Stephen A. Smith is going to be on our side. Roll the clip. You roll
Nation
it.
with the desolate and the disenfranchised and everybody else in between, and looking out for the best interest of what it is for America. That is not a crime for an American politician or a commander-in-chief or a senator or a congressional figure to have that mentality. I want them to have that mentality. So I think about things along those lines. And I'm no longer interested in, nor do I believe any of us should be interested in listening to a bunch of fear-mongering to tell us who we shouldn't vote for. Why don't you come up with a plan that tells us why we should vote for you? That's what I'm interested in. And if Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Byron Donald, Marco Rubio, or the host of other Republican candidates coming down the pike, that's the kind of message that they're going to put forth, I'm down for it. I'm open-minded enough to make sure that I entertain that from a policy perspective. That's what I want for the American people. That's what I want for this nation.
That's why we love you, my man. Now, one quick question. I don't have a lot of time left.
Sure.
You get this all the time. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Kind of a dumb question, but I like it anyway.
I got to tell you something right now. You can never count out Patrick Mahomes, the reigning two-time defending Super Bowl champion. But this guy, Josh Allen, with the Buffalo Bills, the way he's looking right now, he's my leading candidate for league MVP honors. He looks absolutely phenomenal. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the Philadelphia Eagles played the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl and Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills ended up winning a Super Bowl championship. The way this kid is looking, he's looking that special.
I know. And you know, you've got great quarterbacks everywhere, and he's like the standout of the bunch. It's unbelievable. Stephen A., I love your show on ESPN. I love your other shows that you're doing. I'm glad you're stepping out and you're doing other things. You're a very smart guy. And God bless you, my friend.
God bless you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and yours, buddy. You take care.
You too, brother.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian.
All right. So Stephen A. He didn't came across with the hot sauce.